Hello, welcome to my place. I'm Pastor Corey, and it is Monday evening. We've been going through the past couple of weeks the Psalms of Ascent, and in all honesty, it seems like just yesterday that we started this, or just the other day. And here we are at the final 5 of the Psalms of Ascent. I know there's only 15, but still, there's just so much depth in these. And I encourage you to read them more often than just hearing about it when on this little broadcast on these evenings. But today we're on Psalm 130, and this is what it says. Out of the depths I have cried to you, O Lord. Lord, hear my voice. Let your ears be attentive to the voice of my supplications. If you, Lord, should mark iniquities, O Lord, who could stand? But there is forgiveness with you, that you may be feared. I wait for the Lord, my soul waits, and in his word I do hope. My soul waits for the Lord, more than those who watch for the morning. Yes, more than those who watch for the morning. O Israel, hope in the Lord. For with the Lord there is mercy, with him is abundant redemption. And he shall redeem Israel from all his iniquities. When I read this, the first thing that I thought of was taking 3 takeaways from this. And what I mean by that is just looking at it and saying, what are the 3 major things that I get out of this psalm? And in all honesty, that's a great way to look at any type of reading. If you're reading it for something to build you up, it's just good to look at it and say, what are the 3 things that I can take out of this chapter or this page or this book, however you want to do it. So this chapter, my 3 takeaways. 1, cry to the Lord, even in the most desperate of situations. You know, quite often we get into those desperate situations, and I know I would assume that most of you, if not all of you, do pray at those times especially. But it's quite often where woe is me. Woe is me that I should do this, that this is happening to me. And I say to you, cry to the Lord instead. And the reason, verse 7 tells us, because there is hope. There is hope, and that comes to our second takeaway, that God forgives. You see that in verse 3 and 4 and 7 and 8, and it's important to remember that God forgives, because if he really was counting our sins against us, then none of us could stand before him, because he's holy. But he is merciful. And he forgives. He forgives all of our sin. And then my third takeaway is that we should hope in the word of the Lord. And it's because that's where our hope is. That's where our faith is built, is in that word. That's where we stand on. We have the sword of the Spirit that we can use as a defensive and an offensive weapon to fulfill the promises of God. And so I encourage you that you cry to the Lord because there is hope. You remember that God forgives, and then you hope in the word of the Lord, because that's where you will find it. Well, that's just a little bit on Psalm 130, and I pray that it meant a lot to you. And, well, we'll see you tomorrow. God bless you.